literally got off to a flying start, initiating participants into a powerful yogic technique for balancing samana, one of the 5 major energies circulating in our body.
The samana is a particular air process which is responsible for the air to move all over your body. From this point to this point to this point, the whole body. We have 21 points, 10 fingertips in the feet, 10 fingertips in the hand, and Sahasrara. In all these whole 21 points, the air being flooded, this is called samana. That process is called samana. If that samana is balanced, is proper, whenever I give you this kind of one idea and ask you to sit with it, the extraordinary powers will start expressing in your body, like a feeling very light, or feeling heavy, feeling expanded, or feeling shrunk. These are the 4 called anima, lahima, mahima, karima. In the Ashtama Siddhis, 8 Siddhis, these are 4. All of you are clear what I am saying? Anima, lahima, mahima, karima. These are the 4 important powers. First it will happen psychologically. Then it will become physical. See, you will feel little more than you are. First psychologically. Then even physically it will start happening. Physically, if you are levitated, you have a healed samana. If you are only psychological levitation, you don't have any wound in samana. But if you are neither psychological nor physical levitation happen, means your samana needs to be balanced now, needs to be healed. I will now put you through the simple process how the samana healing, samana balancing happens. But of course you will go through a heavy process from tomorrow to balance samana permanently.
Already a Siddha, an adept in the science of levitation, Nithyananda released powerful anima energies into the air to help participants take the leap into levitation. Anima is one of the Ashta Mahasiddhis, 8 mighty yogic powers known only to the Siddhas and Yogis of ancient India.
See, actually what happens, what is initiation? When I say, let that process, you just sit with that process, means that simple understanding of fish. With that one simple understanding, be there. When I say that, just through this Kurmanadi. Kurmanadi is the nadi through which you release or receive. This is a center nadi. See how you when you check blood pressure, this is the exact nadi on which you put the machine. This is the exact nadi which runs through this middle finger. This is the nadi through which you send or receive information. So just through that, whatever experience is in my body is released. So any body which has samana, balanced samana, complete healed samana starts levitating, catching it. Balanced samana, psychological levitation happens. A little imbalanced samana just tries to catch it, tries to catch that wave. This is what exactly happens. Now, understand, you are not expected, you should not be waiting for levitation. You should not be doing it. You just be with the process I am saying. Let that happen by itself, because levitation it is only one side effect. There can be many other side effect of side effect. When I say side effect, you should understand the right way, not as is described in allopathy. Not as it is described in allopathy. Levitation is only one byproduct. There will be so many byproduct. The body will expand. So there are things like a lahima, mahima, karima, anima, different siddhis. So with samana balancing, with this initiation, any siddhi part will start happening in you. Any siddhi will start happening in you. So, just be empty space, allowing this process to happen in you, this initiation to happen in you. That's all I wanted. Now, all you need to do is balance your samana and leave this process in you. Do not expect which one should happen in you. You understand what I am saying? Do not expect only the levitation should happen in you. Because the levitation itself can happen along with 2-3 things. You can feel heavier than what you are, and levitation can happen. All of you understand what I am saying? It does not need to be only that you should become light and levitate. No. You can become heavy and levitate. And same way, it does not need to be just feeling smaller than what you are and not having the levitation. You can have smaller than what you are and levitation, or bigger than what you are and levitation. 2-3 things can match and mix, mingle and move. So all you need to do is just be open with samana, balanced and available. That's all. See, I am not now teaching you levitation. Please understand. I am teaching you enlightenment. As a byproduct, these 4 can happen. Anima, Lahima, Mahima, Karima. All 4 can happen. So be open to it. Be with it. Let's see what happens. You will suddenly see there is every possibility, not only levitating, the stability can become at least few seconds. Maybe 10 seconds or 20 seconds, your body will be able to stay.
Within moments of the initiation, dozens of participants were leaping effortlessly into levitation, while many others experienced states of expanded consciousness. Today's process was one of over 200 techniques revealed to Nithyananda during his 53 days of illegal imprisonment. Levitation happens as a result of the energy alchemy between master and disciple. I am literally transmitting my bio-memory to you, said Nithyananda. However, Nithyananda cautioned participants against getting caught in the achievement of levitation. Despite the caution, it was evident that participants thoroughly enjoyed their first flying experience.
My name is Ron. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. And recently I'm a yoga instructor and a massage therapist. It's a very delightful experience. What happens with me when I start to meditate, I look within. And when you look within, things usually are very chaotic at first, and there's a lot of thoughts and there's a lot of ideas, and they go and come. And through the techniques with Swamiji, he's the expert. No matter what state of mind I'm in, no matter how chaotic or how busy my mind might be, he has many different techniques that has the effect on the mind that slows down the thinking process. And he's shared many different techniques that it just blows my mind. Every day he introduces a new technique of meditation that when you use his techniques and you go look inside with the thoughts, what happens is after a while with his techniques is that I start to see not only the thoughts, but I start to see there's spaces in between and there's gaps. And all of a sudden, something like a black hole appears, seems like an empty space, and it's very beautiful. It's not only, it's very restful, it's very delightful, it's very enjoyable. And when I experienced that space within, the idea, he introduces this idea that if something wants to happen with your body, if you feel light, let anything happen. So with that in mind, with that idea, in that space, in that maybe no space, I could call it, because there's nothing there. When that idea gets introduced, I just feel like my body gets so light that it wants to fly. And that's what I call it. I call it flying. I literally feel like I can fly, and I start to, my body gets so light, I come off the ground, and it might take a few seconds, it might get a little longer, and you start to basically, your body starts to get light and start to lift off, and it's a beautiful experience. I really have never had such a joy in that I've had in that space. In my experience, I've gone into that space like the second or third day that I was here. I went to bed and I laid down in bed, and I just automatically seemed to want to go back to that space. So I relaxed my body and I let myself go. And at that time, not only I felt the lightness and the lifting of my body while I was laying in bed.
My name is Nagme. I live in Los Angeles. I'm a board-certified chiropractor, spine doctor. Also, I have certification, board certification on reflexologies of the hands and ears and the feet. And my original background from Iran was obstetrics, delivering, natural delivering. Simply Swamiji he's sitting there and is watching us, and few simple words he utters without us knowing any technique or any sutra, any mantra, nothing, just simply says the simple life solutions. And then right there, this levitation happens. It's so automatic, so innocent, and so natural.
My name is Debbie Chance, and I'm from North Carolina in the USA, and I'm a school administrator. And I have been a school administrator for many years, and I specialize in brain research. So at this point, I've become a consultant, so I travel across the country in different places and talk to school administrators and social workers and guidance counselors and teachers. It's been really unique with Swami because having this experience of levitation is something that's very simple and easy. And when you have that thought that you can't do it, then you can't do it. So if we have conflict-free living, conflict-free life, then we're not creating our own resistance patterns, and our brain patterns become liquid and soft, easy, so that when Swami drops that slight bit of energy into our brain thought pattern, we just immediately let go and we lift off the ground. It's just complete relaxation.
It is such an intense rush of bliss that happens from the point of contact, your body's point of contact with the floor. It's such an intense, immense amount of bliss, happiness, joy, that you just want to go up. And it just pulls you up. So this is what I have been experiencing.
And the way it feels is an expansion, a very strong expansion, where there's space between your molecules in your body. You just feel light, like a cotton fiber, like a feather. When you see a feather that's just floating in the breeze. So there's this feeling of lightness, there's a feeling of unboundedness, so that there's no sense of any boundaries, and there are no thought forms. There's a huge amount of force that's coming up through your central part of your body, it feels like. Sometimes it's in other parts of your body. It doesn't have to be in the central, it can be anywhere, but you allow it. It's a matter of allowing. The key word really is allowing and not resisting. So living that energy and letting your body just experience pure bliss. It's a state of pure bliss. And what Swami does is he just drops that thought form into our minds that are completely relaxed and feeling that emptiness, and then the bliss stimulates that surge of energy that makes the levitation possible.
Such a beautiful, amazing, pure and simple feeling that you just want to be one, become one with the universe. It's such an innocent way of experiencing the existence and becoming. We are part of it, but we kind of know ourselves separate from existence. This is how we just become one with the whole cosmos, the whole energy. Just want to, you feel so light that you just want to get up. Come up so easily.
My name is Judy, and I live in Maryland, USA. Swamiji just gave us a simple instruction, just simple words that he normally give in daily discourses. And he told us just to sit down and relax on a mattress, and then I started feeling some heat in the body, and then the energy going up, and then some parts of the body moving, and I couldn't resist. I just moved up and down on the mattress, and it was, I don't know how many inches because I had my eyes closed, but I did go on for I think more than 30 minutes. We were just going on and on and on. Almost the entire time. I don't know how long he did it. I know he did it probably for an hour. Yeah, but, and then there's this blissful bliss that goes on inside you that you don't have control over it. It's like you had something very funny. And it's just coming from the navel center. And I laughed for a long time. I didn't laugh loudly, but it was this laughter that kept going on and on and on and on. And there is a lot of peace inside. And I really felt like a little baby just resting there, and Swamiji was there. And at one moment, there's this connection between the Swamiji's energy and my being. So the boundary disappears somehow, and then you feel so beautiful inside. It's something that I haven't experienced in just walking around. Yes, so that's a gift from the Master.
My name is Bertina, and I'm from Vancouver, Canada. And by trade, I'm a physical education teacher, the teacher of physical education. And right now I'm taking care of my family. I have 2 children and husband. And so I'm here for the meditation program. And I haven't experienced something like that in my life. I've been meditating, but the meditation is a simple, regular meditation, like I guess many people just meditate. But this kind of meditation, I would never imagine that within just few days would put me into such a state, literally levitating. So it just took me by surprise, and because of that, it just exhilarating laughter and joy and an absolute bliss just happened in this very moment. And just after even the meditation, I just couldn't stop laughing. But the laughter was such that was coming from the being, literally. It wasn't just laughing because I saw something and something made me funny and something was funny that I saw. It was just simply not knowing why and just simply laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. Basically, I've never experienced such laughter in my life. I guess levitation was a great experience, but I think the state of mind that came with it was, I guess, the most precious experience that I had.
Levitation, the most interesting thing about levitation, because I have done levitation before with the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi TM transcendental meditation, the Swamiji's technique, they are so powerful, because for me to be able to do it took 1 hour and 40 minutes. Then I had to do my levitation, sutra. But this one, Swamiji tells you to sit down and say just a simple thing like this, and your body just starts to levitate. It's really moving. The first time I did it, just my tears came down, because I knew it used to take me so long to be able to get that level for my body to become light and be able to levitate.
My name is Shriyananda Sarvashri. I'm from North Carolina. I work as a naturopath, and the experience of levitation is really, for me, quite an extraordinary experience. It's one of, energetically, it's really a powerful, powerful impulse, lightness that comes over you, basically takes over when it happens. I don't have a lot of control over it when it happens, but it is a real surge, real energetic surge. At times I feel a real lightness, sometimes a whirling kind of experience happens as I'm doing it. Sometimes I feel lighter than other times. Sometimes I lift off completely, sometimes I don't quite lift off completely, but you really want to, because the psychological experience is one of just tremendous, tremendous buoyancy and lightness and powerful bliss, powerful joy kind of experience. When I was walking back to the room today after one of the experiences, I felt my whole body just as a ball of light. And it sort of gave me the feeling like, oh, I'm nothing but light. It should be easy for me to just levitate. But at times you don't feel that during the processes. Different processes that we're doing create different effects in me. Sometimes I feel a real lightness and a levitation and I lift off. Other times I feel a transformation, but I don't feel any lightness. So it just kind of depends on the process that we're going through, and experience varies quite a lot. It's going to be fun to see what NITHYANANDA comes up with next for the next stages of the process. But so far it's been a really amazing experience and a lot of fun and a really powerful, transformative kind of experience internally, physiologically. So that's pretty much what it's like.
It just felt like he keeps saying, remember you are me, and you know, just merge with me. And so I start seeing him looking at me, and I could see him facing him and looking at him. And suddenly, I just felt I was on his lap, and he was big, like he was my dad, and I was like 5 years old again. And then that movement starts swinging, and we're just going like this, and I'm like, oh my God. And then and suddenly like the whole body lift, and I went like, Chung! So I think I did about that width, that height, and I know I was a bit high, because for the size of the body to move. And the length of the mat is about over 5'10" or something. So I did 3 laps like this. Not constantly, but one after the other one. It stopped and then the energy moved again. But that energy where it is, it felt like a rush, and it moved, and it just built and built, and suddenly like it just like pops up, and then you're up in the air. You're just like, ah! But I was like, wow! And I'm like, do it again, Swami, do it again! I was like a kid, like, you know, like when you play with them and they're just so excited, that's how I felt. I was like, do it again! And then suddenly that energy comes back, and then you jump, and the body lifts again. And then it reminds me when you're young and you swing on that swing, and suddenly like you go the highest you can go, and then you just let go. And that freedom of height, and just it's incredible, it's so amazing. And it's just like, wow. And the body is in ecstatic, the mind doesn't know what's happening, and the soul is just like in bliss. It's beautiful.
I am Siva Prasad. I am from Hyderabad, India. I am a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist by profession. The first 2 sessions the Swamiji was conducting, I was not having any physical levitation. When I was listening to all the other people who were levitating, I was really thinking, it can't happen to me, maybe it is for them. And then during the Soham meditation, actually, my body was being lifted off the ground. I didn't feel like, oh, is it mine? And then it happened second time, third time. Then I felt like, yeah, it's me, it's my body that is levitating. It was really wonderful, and it's an ecstatic experience for me. And after that, peals of laughter came. And then after the session, the peals of laughter came. I was laughing for 15 minutes after the session. It's a wonderful experience for me. I can't ever forget this experience.
My name is Srinivas, and I have come from Hyderabad, and I work for the IT industry. During this LEP process, what I experienced is the physiological changes that happened in my body, that I'm very much sure. Experience of levitation happened on the day 4 or 5, I can say. So it started again, body started having a weightlessness, and then I saw something like it was gushing up, the energy was gushing up from inside, from the bottom of the body, maybe some Mooladhara. So it started coming, gushing up. Then I started, as I was sitting in the Padmasana posture, so it happened like I said, I want to control or something like that. It is completely out of my control, and it started pushing up.
My name is Narendra Sindhi, and I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and I work in the spa industry as an esthetician and a spa therapist. I met Swamiji in 2006 and started doing his programs in 2007, and I had done various programs. First day I just had the physical or psychological levitation, no physical. Second day the body was moving and third day I was levitating for sure. So that was a beautiful experience to levitate. I never thought I could do such a thing and be in a blissful state while levitating. That's amazing. So I can say, and when Swamiji says when you are levitating, that means that samana has balanced. And then he is putting that, bolting that enlightenment, techniques into our body, so we are able to hold those processes. So, and then now we are doing prana techniques, so that is also very good. All I can say, it's working. So the levitation, when it actually happens in the physical body, you are actually in a bliss. You are sitting in the Padmasana with this Samana Mudra, and it just happens of its own accord. And you are just, it's like some beautiful energy is lifting you and just throwing you, like, rocking you in the air. It's not any, like, you're not hurting your body or anything like that. It's like some energy is like throwing like a baby in the air and putting it down. So it's a beautiful feeling. That's what I can say about levitation. Something worth experiencing.
I'm really very happy. Morning, the whole process was such a wonderful success. It shows, one, many of you have done inner awakening and LB, that has done the big job. Second, that even the other few were seekers from the beginning. So, now I'll work on the deeper level. I can say the next level. Please understand, I am just balancing samana. See, morning itself, whoever was able to experience the levitation, their samana was balanced. That is why the moment I released something from my system, it has started happening in their system. Let me tell you the exact science. Please understand. See, the other day I was seeing a hologram. Maybe it's a some 2-inch by 2-inch size. On the pyramid, one dolphin is jumping. That is a hologram. So if you cut smaller, whatever size of piece you make it out of it, the full hologram is there as it is. Can you understand what I am saying? See, 2-inch by 2-inch, if you cut as a 4-piece, the full hologram is there. If you cut as 8-piece, the full hologram is there. If you cut as 100-piece, the full hologram is there. Just like that, Master's body is cosmos. The macrocosm in microcosm in its full form is Master's body. That is why the initiation is possible. Anything happens in this system, just one line, anything released in this system can just happen in the other systems. Just happen in the other systems. One understand? The Master's body is like a smallest possible hologram of the cosmos. Even then, even if you cut it as the smallest possible, the whole is there as it is. That is why Krishna in that small body, in that small mouth, able to show the whole cosmos to Yasoda. He just opened the mouth and Yasoda saw the whole cosmos. That is why, just in that small 6 feet frame, Krishna was able to show the whole cosmos to Arjuna. Vishwarupa is the initiation.
Crazy and amazing, and I feel so blessed, and Swamiji is the best, that's best God, I have to say, and people could believe me or not, but he is God that I've ever experienced, and I want the whole world to experience him because his whole mission is love, peace, and compassion, no matter what anybody thinks who could go against that. So I would give my life for him, absolutely.
My name is Vanessa, and I live in Miami, and I'm originally from Venezuela. It's more than the technique, honestly, is the experience and how open we are to receive the biomemory of this incarnation that is Swamiji. And little by little we can taste a little bit what it really is, to be an incarnation, and it's beautiful. I'm just so happy to have this experience, and it's a blessing and such a beautiful opportunity to receive this beautiful energy and be guided by an avatar. It's a blessing.
Understand, Master's body is the smallest bit of the cosmos. That is why when he releases something, it happens in you. But there are many bodies, I can say many bodies was not prepared with samana. Those bodies are only not able to, I saw many of the ashramites came and reported to me, Swamiji, physiologically my body levitated or I don't know, but psychologically I saw already that I am feeling, I was lifted, so light. Even for you guys I can say the samana was not damaged samana.
So with the samana balancing, I was kind of a tough nut to crack, but at the end of the samana balancing, I did feel some lightness, and I was kind of being pulled away from the earth, but I was not levitating. I saw a lot of other people levitating, and I thought that was pretty cool. But the prana balancing was much more intense for me, because a lot of shifting happening, a lot of things in the body changing, and a lot of emotions coming up, a lot of joy coming up. So I think the prana balancing for me was a more joyful experience than the samana balancing.
So in the samana process, this really nice thing happened to me, that I start feeling myself, I don't know if I'm right to explain it, but I start feeling like all my body very lightly. I feel like all the beats of my body becoming different, becoming like with no weight. I didn't know go in the levitation like the partners, like all the people did, but I feel it. It was really inside to me. I feel like that, like a baboon. I don't know, a balloon. I feel it like floating for a little bit. I don't know if it was inside myself. It wasn't my real body, but it was an amazing, very beautiful, very amazing feeling.
Samana balancing, it's been a really deep process. I can feel the biomemory shifting, changing. I can see how the engrams are, you get realizations, so you turn them into thoughts, and then they're gone. Understanding, feeling, and then we go out into the world and we experience. So we take all these beautiful qualities and then we live it in our reality.
During the samana process, at times I felt a psychological lift. My body, I would feel it physically as well. My body would just want to rock backward. I felt lighter, and I felt like my energy expanded out of my body. So it was and at times it would feel, very blissful. So it's a very nice experience, the samana balancing.
During the samana meditation, I felt like a psychological lift up. Suddenly, in my head, everything illuminated. It got very light, and it was as if I was flying inside of me. It was like a flying experience, and even my body lifted. Not that it lifted from the floor, but inside of myself I lifted, and everything seemed to be so much easier, just sort of to sit straight up, and my arms felt much lighter as well. So I had a beautiful experience, and I couldn't believe that after I was told that we had been in meditation for 2 hours. I could not believe it, because it had been happening just like flying.
Some morning, at least 10 people had a full levitation. Means if it is more than 3 feet height and 6 feet long, means your body's length and height and breadth, the height and side size. Side size is maximum 3 feet. Length is for some people little more than 3, don't worry about it. I am saying the height is 6. So if it is 3 by 6, it is called full levitation. Means the samana and initiation has met each other, mixed inside you. At least 10 people I could see had a full levitation, and there are at least 25 people had levitation experience, like a half feet, 1 feet, 1.5 feet.
I am Ashok Amin from Los Angeles, California. I am a physician, practicing gastroenterologist in Anaheim, California. Like 3-4 days ago, when Swami was conducting the meditation session, I think it was Antar Kumbhak, and during that time he said, hold, and then suddenly I started a burst of energy coming from the back and the sides of the back and pushing me up like in a jerky movement. It was like 1 feet high, and before that I felt like like aeroplane, when they start before the takeoff, how they gather the energy and then suddenly takes off. The same feeling I got, just like flying. And it was amazing, great experience, and a lot of gratitude toward the master, because it's because of him it happened. I didn't do anything. It's automatic, spontaneous.
It is not possible for you to do it by will. I could see they are sitting in Padmasana and hand is not touching the ground. They are just there and just the body is flying. You can't do it with will. If you do it with will, your back will break. You understand? And I could see these guys simply, just that, you see, I can very clearly see when you put an idea into your system, it takes 2.5 seconds to reach Anandagandha. So when the moment it reaches the Anandagandha, just the body jumps.
I know what I can share is the feeling that it really was here, mostly the feeling here between my heart chakra and the Anandagandha chakra, and losing the boundaries of my body, like losing, just becoming, expanding. That's what I felt in my levitation process. And it's been interesting because when I least expect it, it just happens. And when I come back, I realized, I'm like, oh, I was levitating. And
I really don't know the knowledge. I was just following the instructions according to Paramahamsa Nityananda. The energy called samana needs to be balanced. So we did few meditation sessions to balance, and just then simply happened to me. And again, to be honest, I really don't know how it happened. It just happened.
What I feel is the body first of all, the feeling I normally have most of the time is my heart starts pumping fast, and I'm just sitting still. Then all of a sudden there is this rush of something feeling good in the whole body and wanting to take your body up. And there is nothing you can do. It's like the body just goes up, just like that. It's a feeling which is so good. It's not just levitation. It's just, I don't know whether you call bliss or just nectar. Something which is flowing all over the body and makes you just want to get wherever it is. And that's how the body goes up. It's such a great experience and a great feeling.
Just sitting cross-legged and just suddenly just jumping and lifting up and then finding myself in different place. So just planting myself in different place. So it's really something that, it's very physical. It's actually very, very physical. It's a very physical experience, but yet again, it's not something that I did it, I put an intention into it, and then it happened. It just happened on its own, without my complete knowing.
I was just sitting in the Padmasana in Samana Mudra, and I was just being connected to the Master. Maybe having the full faith on him, I was connected to his subtle energy and I was being lifted off. It was an effortless experience. I was not putting any effort at all because I was thinking, oh, it can't happen to me, but it happened.
So, I could see few people having that Lahima experience. Not only just light, it's just expanding. And this Anima, Mahima, Lahima, Karima, all these four siddhis are intertwined. When you balance, first psychologically it will happen, then physiologically it will happen. So, the same way, feeling shrunk means smaller than what you are. See, feeling lighter than what you are, feeling heavier than what you are, feeling bigger than what you are, feeling smaller than what you are. So these are the four siddhis. It's not even feeling, becoming. Because from psychology, it will be transmitted to physiology itself. That is what has now happened to people who physically levitated. You understand? See, it is not, I can say, 60 to 70% of people had psychological. But maybe 20 to 30 people had physical.
You're sitting on a kind of a padded mat and you're internalizing a spiritual truth. They call it a sutra. and it has an effect on your system. And when you do this in a focused way, it can really change your mental setup, your inner space. That's all what it's about, right? Because that's so much is your mental space. So you're just in constant remembrance of this thing, which was life is life is conflict free, and conflict has no life. So just internalizing those words, that truth, and feeling it, not just repeating it, it starts to make changes, and it shakes your system, and you actually physically will react to it. So a lot of people, like I started, like you shake, and you'll want to like lift off the ground almost. And I didn't have the full experience of lifting off, but I kind of started to like jump off of where I was sitting. And this is it's not a voluntary action. You definitely feel that this is something your body is doing basically without you. But at the same time, you do have control over it. It's not involuntary, in the sense that if you wanted to, you could stop it. Yeah, and you have this feeling of, it creates a lot of heat too, and just like wanting to lift off.
Hi, my name is Sue Davey, and I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and there I read tarot cards professionally. It's actually the third day Swamiji has had us doing process for levitation, and the first day I didn't really have any expectations. I thought it would just be sitting there in pain, because usually when the legs are crossed there's a lot of pain there. But partway through the meditation, after just a few minutes, I found myself pulling the legs into Padmasana, the lotus posture, which I'd never done before for a sustained period, and actually couldn't feel them until he said relax. And apparently we had sat like that for an hour and a half. So there was no levitation that day, but it was still a very intense process. The next day I noticed tremors and my knees kind of shaking, my hands kind of moving on their own. And then today when he had us do the same process, I actually bounced up and down off the ground a few times. At one point I actually bounced so hard that my mala flew right off of me. So it was just incredible. But not so much the levitation as the deep feeling of bliss while doing the levitation. It was great.
Hey, NITHYANANDA, and I'm from Sparta, New Jersey, and I'm a teacher. And I had the most incredible experience today and yesterday, actually. I felt like I was a bird flying. First, I went up, my arms went up, and then I was like gliding, and then my wingspan went like this, and my legs went in the air, and it was truly the most unbelievable, liberating experience ever. And I still can't even believe it right now, just even explaining it. And it went on constantly. And what first happened is I bent all the way down. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was contracting like into nothing. And I realized it was almost like a takeoff. And then all of a sudden I came up and started flying and off the mat and everywhere. It was crazy.
You are not asked to levitate yet. You are asked to balance your samana for enlightenment. So as a byproduct, you becoming heavy, or you levitating, or your muscle expanding, these all will happen as byproduct. Now don't bother about that. What is byproduct? As I told you yesterday, I am not interested in giving you the technique to make more wealth, like a creative visualization and all that. See, our devotees become creative and make wealth is side effect. But that's not my purpose. And same way, I am not interested in giving you like a life solution, anger management, lust management, fear management. This happens as a side effect of what I do. But that is not the main product. Same way, I am not even interested in making you moral. Morality happens as a side effect. You may not drink. You may not eat non-veg. You may not go around. You may not do drugs. These are side effect or byproduct of what I am doing. But that itself is not the main product. My main product is breakthrough in your consciousness.
honestly, I wasn't expecting to be levitating. It's been a wonderful, amazing experience because I can feel the powerful effects within me already. I've never done levitation before or even aimed for levitation before. It has never been something I aimed for, and having that as a byproduct of this process has been amazing.
So Rami puts 1 hour, I think, experience during her 2-hour meditation. And second hour, when you cool down, you feel like a lot of bliss. And then it takes you into the deep meditation. Then I see the light and just takes you above. Like as Swami said, levitation is used to get enlightenment. Don't get satisfied with only levitation. And I'm getting the experience of enlightenment and the great bliss and light. Amazing.
See, one more thing I want to tell you about the samana. See, exactly what happens during levitation, I will tell you. Under each hair hole, pore, there is a small, subtle air bag. Space where air can be filled, air energy can be filled. But unfortunately, that air energy cannot be taken through the nose. Through the nose, what it goes is prana. To grass, see, it's a to grass breathing. That cannot go and fill that subtle air bags which is under each hair pore or hair hole. So that each hair hole should inhale, suck air energy from the cosmos, from the ether. When that small subtle hair hole takes the energy from cosmos and stores it, that is called samana. That air energy is only samana. The air which you take through nose, the prana, very subtle part of it can go and fill as samana. But very subtle and it takes lot of time. Actually, what is the difference between the prana, samana, vyana and all? You know, the prana, air energy which goes, is more percentage of thoughts and less percentage of life energy. Samana is almost like an equal percentage of thoughts and equal percentage of life energy. Vyana is 25% of thoughts and 75% of life energy. Udana is 100% life energy. Udana is responsible for holding the heart and intestines separate. That is why when this area relaxes, all the 9 holes will release, excrete, and death will happen immediately. Death will happen immediately. Medically, how you need to understand? This is what is death as described by Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga, this is the death. The energy which is holding heart up, that's a pure life energy. That's the Udana. Now, when the air energy gets filled in the air bags which is under every hair hole, you feel light, blissful, happy, joyful. Same way, equivalent to your body weight, if the air energy is filled in that air bags, if your body weight and samana energy becomes equal, then the lifting of the body happens. That is the science of levitation. Understand? That is the science of levitation. For example, let me tell you. See, if you sit and inhale, just during the inhaling, have a button, counter, how many number of thought comes, just click, 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 press it. During one inhaling, if it is 15 count, make it as 30 because each time pressing is one more thought. So 30. So take the time of the inhaling and the number of thoughts. Come up with a proportion. This proportion is your prana proportion. If this number of thoughts is getting reduced, then samana will increase, levitation will start happen. All of you are able to catch what I am saying? We can even scientifically measure and prove the length of time and the number of thought when it is, I can say, if number of thought is more than 50%, that component is more, it is prana. You can find out how to fix a standard. If we do 10 times the same experiment on you, we will have the standard proportion of your prana. Then that proportion, if it gets changed, if the life energy is more and number of thought is less, your air bags under each hair hole is getting filled. If that filling is happening step by step, then first comes psychological levitation. When it is really more than 70% of your body, air bags are filled with samana, then happens physical levitation. If 50% of your body air bags are filled with samana, psychological levitation happens. If more than 70% of your air bags are filled with samana, physical levitation happens. This is the science. If 100% your air bags are filled with samana, on the sky you will be able to turn the direction, land smoothly or flow for a few seconds. It's almost like a flight you will be able to control. You can become pilot of your body. This is the science of levitation. Now we can do some experiments on the length of breathing and the number of thoughts happening. It is not. Then you are forcing your breathing. Just observe, sit in a relaxed way and have a small counter in the hand. Observe and you will see. Tuck, 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 10 frames will change. You will not complete the thought, but thought will happen. Thought does not need to be completed thought. Understand? Thought gets completed when attachment is added. When you don't add attachment, it just happens and disappear, happens and disappear and happens and disappear. It does not get completed. So the number of frames happening, count. That's all. Science of levitation.
NITHYANANDA is doing an incredible thing with us. You know, I feel like really he's doing the whole job. I'm doing my little part, and he's doing the big part. You know, so he's really helping us. I've never been in a situation to have such an amazing being want to help us so much. I feel such tremendous intensity of compassion coming from him, and just a willingness to help, willingness to share, willingness to show us, oh, do this a little bit different, do this a little bit different, like he did today when he was sharing, oh, the breathing, oh, but do it with love. You know, that was like a total wake-up call for me, and just opened me up in a totally different way. And he's always giving us these little clicks that just shift us in a different way and keep us from being so rigid about who we are and just opening up to that enlightened state more and more. So it's just been a wonderful, incredible process here. I wish everybody could experience it because it's just extraordinary, you know.
I could see so many masters here, their energy. They are all so happy that their tradition and what they gave to the planet Earth is getting revived and kept alive. justified, just you sit and do something touching your head and shoulder and think you are some fish happening and you are jumping. And so many things are happening. Means that energy which they gave to planet Earth as initiation is getting released. So they are also happy. They are also happy and all their presence is here. So enjoy. Their blessings are all with you guys. Encourage all of us doing this great work of enlightening you. You see, one more thing, when you are working towards enlightenment, that is a great service you are doing to the cosmos. Lot of collective negativity will be healed. As I said, when you start looking at somebody with love, that person is beloved. When you start looking with reverence, he is the inspiration source. So when you start looking with the devotion, he is God. So your way of looking, when that changes, you create. Same way the world. When you look with the ordinary way, it's a world headed enemies. With love, it's a place of peace. With reverence, it's a heaven. With devotion, it is God. Too many people seeing the world as God will make the world as God. That's what is raising the collective consciousness. See, that is what I am saying. Expanding the collective consciousness, raising the collective consciousness. Making God, making world as God. So, your very process makes it happen. As I said, that participatory universe. How you participate, universe is created that way. So we are raising the collective consciousness of the universe through this process of participatory universe. Drishti Srishti. Drishti means seeing. Srishti means creation. By seeing, creating. So every time I elevate your consciousness to a higher and higher plane, you are seeing the world in a higher and higher way. So the more higher and higher way you see, more higher and higher conscious cosmos is created. So you are doing the right thing in the right time with the right person. You are doing the best thing can be done, should be done with the human body. To the world with in best time and with best person.
When I had a first time experience, you feel like on the top of the world, you like the king of the world. Basically, it's like a celebration. It was a great, amazing experience, and everybody should come and take advantage of it. And all gratitude towards Swami again and again. It's never possible without him, and very rare master in the world can do it. So it's very rare thing.
I was with many enlightened masters before, but Paramahamsa Nithyananda is definitely at a higher level than any of them I have seen before. His energy is boundless energy, and you can easily get connected to him.
All that I smell, I offer to you, Swami
all over the world, all predictions go on saying world is going to end by 2012, world is going to end by 2012, world is going to end by 2012. I Ching, the Chinese book which talks about book of change, Mayan calendar which has calculated 26,000 years, and this WebBot which studies the collective unconsciousness and predicted even 9/11 terrorist attack and Katrina and all other major calamities in the world. Even WebBot says 2012 is the end of time. And all over the world, everything is pointing towards 2012 as end of time. Everybody is continuously asking, what is going to happen, Swamiji, what is going to happen? I am not predicting, please understand, I am not just predicting, I am telling you straight away what is going to happen. First thing, there is no physical calamity as Hollywood movies show. There is no danger or physical calamity as Hollywood movies are showing. Huge tsunami and the ships landing on White House and LAX airport breaking. No, don't worry, there is no physical calamity. But the world is going to end in a different way. People living in the lower consciousness will end. A new consciousness will come to exist. The very idea of life you have will be different. Like after the communication revolution, the IT revolution, how the idea you have about life is different. I am the first incarnation sitting in one place and giving e-kalpataru all over the world. See, the idea of life is different now. I don't need to use extraordinary powers to appear and give kalpataru. Just simple video conferencing is enough. The idea of life has become suddenly different. That is exactly the thing going to happen in 2012. Such a extraordinary conscious evolution will happen. The idea of life will become different. I'll speak later on in a detailed way how the evolution is going to happen, how we can use it for our enlightenment.
All that I taste, all that I smell, I offer to you, Swami Nithyananda. All that I see, all that I hear, I offer to you, Swami Nithyananda. Like this dance, and this song, and this joy, I surrender to you. All that I feel, all that I am, I offer to you, Swami
I opened a huge subject. Anyhow, I had to start somewhere. One of the important thing I'm not able to comprehend the Krishna's aspect. One of the important aspect of Krishna, still which I am not able to comprehend, is his amazing romance. Understand? I can say the ultimate compassion, expression of ultimate compassion is romance. Because I know, see, the moment you reach that kind of an highest state, anybody you see you will have only compassion. The romance can never happen. See, for romance to happen, you need to feel equal. You need to feel equal. Only then romance can happen. I tell you from my experience, anybody who I see, the moment I see the whole thing. So it's always like a compassion. Just today I got one letter. Very sincere advice that Swamiji, you should get married. And that letter says, you may like somebody of your age. I think you should get married. You don't understand. The romance can never happen because there is nobody with whom I can feel equal. The moment I see that person, I see the whole problem, the whole thing which is in the person. So at the most, I can have only compassion. The romance can never happen. That's why there is no romance. There is no romance in my inner space. His compassion was so great. He came down, not only he was able to make the Gopikas feel they are equal to him, he felt he is equal to them. I can say that is the ultimate sacrifice. He was able to have the real romance. Means he has completely covered himself. He has covered even his compassion or judging. See, that's the last thing which can never be covered. Which can never be covered. Just seeing the person as it is. That's the most difficult thing which can be covered. I think all of you understand what I am saying. But the Krishna's greatness, still I am not able to comprehend. How he was able to cover that dimension. Understand, Krishna did not just show romance, he had romance. He had romance. In my case, I know very clearly, I am showing. The being itself does not have romance. It's a pure light. Still, I am not able to comprehend how he was able to settle down with the biomemory or the muscle memories where he was radiating romance. I can say one of the ultimate settling into the body. See, there are levels of settling into the body. It defines the finest expression of an incarnationhood. Understand? The experience wise, Krishna, Buddha, Rama, Shiva, me, whatever, Ramakrishna, all experience wise same. No difference. The expression differs. How the expression differs? The ability to settle down with your muscle memory. The ability to settle down with your muscle memory. I can say he is one of the ultimate settling down in the muscle memory. The most colorful incarnation. The most colorful incarnation. whatever points were used to disrespect and abuse Krishna, all those points were only his greatness. Usually his Ras was always disrespected and abused. But these idiots do not know how much it takes to land on the body. If you understand this one truth, that to be in romance, you need to feel equal to people. It is not an easy joke. From that consciousness, equal to people, you can show, even I am managing many times for people to feel that I am equal to them. But I myself feeling was a big job. So the person who wrote the question understand, if I really had romance, I wouldn't have bothered to get married. Because I did not take sannyas to be seated in anybody's throne or any organization. The whole thing is I created. This whole thing is my creation. And I am not bound by any social rule. As a Paramahamsa, even the sannyas rule does not bind to Paramahamsa. See, we don't carry the danda. The person who broke danda and drops it, he does not even carry the rules of sannyas. So, I am not even supposed to wear this cloth. Technically, I am not supposed to wear this orange. I am wearing it for maintenance, that's all, nothing else. Otherwise, the Paramahamsa is not even bound, dharmically or socially, by any rule. It is not any rule. But having the romance is the ultimate landing. I can say the Krishna is the ultimate landing.
All that I smell, I offer to you, Swami Nityananda.
इनर अवेकनिंग एक अद्भुत प्रोग्राम है जो आपको असाधारण तरीके से जीना बताएगा। कोई भी इस प्रोग्राम से जीवन मुक्ति का गहरा अनुभव किए बिना वापस नहीं लौटा है। इस प्रोग्राम के बाद मुक्त गई गुण प्रसरित करता है, जैसे उत्तम सेहत, स्पष्ट सोच, शुद्ध ऊर्जा केंद्र, अनक्लच्ड व्यक्तित्व और ये भाव की सब कुछ मंगलत्व है। मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि आप स्वभाव से ही जीवन मुक्ति के लिए बने हैं। आपका सारा तनाव और विषाद कुछ और नहीं, केवल आपके अस्तित्व की पुकार है। वापस अपने श्रोत्र में लौटने के लिए मैं आप सबका प्रेम और सम्मान से स्वागत करता हूं। मेरा सभी को आशीर्वाद है। आप सभी जीवन मुक्ति जिए और प्रसरित करें नित्यानंदम।
व्यक्तेन रूपेण ततं त्वयेदम् कृपाकटाक्षं कुरु देव नित्यम्.
Bienvenidos al Inner Awakening, un retiro espiritual único de 21 días en presencia del Maestro Iluminado Paramahamsa NITHYANANDA.
Despertar interior es un curso único que te muestra una manera extraordinaria de existir, de vivir la iluminación, Jivan Mukti.
El Inner Awakening integra el cuerpo, la mente y el ser para una transformación completa a todos los niveles. Es la oportunidad de vivir y aprender en el ambiente de un ashram védico tradicional y a la vez contemporáneo.
The whole thing which we are going to do in these 21 days can be classified as three parts. One, technical knowledge, means introduction to the concept or to the truth, ideologically clearing the doubts and inspiring you. Second thing, technique, exactly the process which you are required to do. The third is the energy process, awakening the dimensions of you which is unknown to you.
Cada día empieza con la práctica del yoga, lo cual esculpe el cuerpo para expresar energías más elevadas.
Mi nombre es NITHYANANDA, soy originalmente de México. Algo que realmente disfruté bastante y lo llevo conmigo y puedo decir que es parte totalmente de mi vida, es la práctica del yoga. Para alcanzar esa realización adentro de mí, para ir más adentro. No es como mueves el cuerpo, pero es la intención con la que mueves el cuerpo.
If you just renounce being too much bothered about what is happening in 6 feet, you will simply know what is happening in the whole. Renounce the 6 feet and enjoy the whole. Tena tyaktena munjita makrita kasya siddhanam.
Pasar tiempo debajo del árbol baniano, que es un árbol antiguo, más de 600 años, el cual al simplemente entrar, sientes esa paz interior, una paz interior que realmente es indescriptible. Tu mente totalmente se asienta, tu cuerpo se relaja.
You don't need to remember all the things which I am uttering. Please understand. Wherever you have problem, that truth will hit you there, and the truth which you need will get recorded inside. Other things will not even go inside you. No need.
Si solamente pasamos 2 días, vamos a un retiro y después regresamos al mismo lugar, con los mismos problemas, la misma gente, entonces los problemas siguen lo mismo, seguimos en la misma trampa. Pero cuando me di cuenta que con un curso de 21 días seguidos, con la presencia del maestro durante todo el tiempo, el cambio es permanente. Disfruta sesiones con el maestro en donde puedes interactuar vívidamente con él. O simplemente siéntate en silencio y date cuenta que todas tus preguntas son contestadas aún antes de preguntar.
Despertar interior no es solamente un curso, es una tremenda posibilidad, es la experiencia directa de tu propia transformación, tu contacto íntimo con tus posibilidades máximas.
Puedo ver claramente en mí que ya no están los miedos, no está el miedo de la muerte que estaba ahí antes. Vi que aquí se vive de una forma tan intensa, tan presente, que después del curso de 21 días yo decidí quedarme aquí y contribuir a la sociedad en diferentes aspectos. Ahora estamos enseñando yoga, enseñando cursos de meditación en el mundo. Pero también hay gente que vienen aquí y se van al mundo a trabajar de nuevo. Entonces no importa lo que uno hace después, en realidad es la intensidad con lo cual lo hace que es la transformación.
De hecho, cuando regresé a Miami, que fue cuando de verdad pude ver la transformación del ser, y también no es en realidad lo alrededor que cambia, es uno el que cambia, y como las decisiones vienen solas, no tiene que uno esforzarse, todo viene como intuitivamente, trae como más claridad, más enfoque y más calma. Cuando tu ser está quieto, todo alrededor va solucionándose solo.
De todas las técnicas de meditación que aprenderás aquí, la meditación suprema es el Upanishad, el sentarse en silencio en la presencia del maestro. En estos momentos de comunión en silencio, la transmisión de la luz sucede sin esfuerzo, de ser a ser, sin ser tocado por las dudas y los dilemas de la mente.
Y entonces, como estamos con él todo el día durante los 21 días, es una conexión más profunda y sobre todo el ser se comunica directamente. Y entonces uno puede ver a medida que va pasando los días, la conexión se pone más fuerte.
Antes de venir al Inner Awakening, solía tener muchos tipos de estrés relacionados a la escuela, relacionados al trabajo, cositas que sin mucho se manifestaban en mí. Después de que vine al Inner Awakening, tuve muchas respuestas a por qué estas cosas sucedían en mí. No era en el exterior, pero en el interior. Era en el florecer de mi ser, en donde pude encontrar ese balance, ese equilibrio para poder vivir la vida con total claridad.
Jivan Mukti es vivir la vida de una manera óptima con éxito y abundancia en el mundo exterior y una profunda alegría y satisfacción en el mundo interior.
Es la experiencia más bonita que puede existir en este mundo. Volver a su origen, volver a lo que uno realmente busca adentro, consciente o inconscientemente. Siempre estamos buscando felicidad, estamos buscando plenitud, y eso es lo que realmente uno va despertando durante el Inner Awakening en presencia del gran maestro Paramahamsa NITHYANANDA.
Yo les invito desde mi corazón, porque yo fui una de ellas, yo de verdad que no pensé, fue mi ser interno que saltó y dije, ahí voy a estar. Todas las situaciones, aunque sea de dinero, de tiempo, de trabajo, de hijos, para las personas que estén dudando, les invito que cierren los ojos y hagan una oración y todo se va a aclarar. Van a ver que es la mejor decisión que han tomado en todas sus vidas.
El Inner Awakening en una oración, wow, tienes que venir a experimentarlo. El Inner Awakening es más allá de las palabras, es una experiencia tan íntima, tan profunda, tan intensa, que cualquier cosa que yo te pueda decir ni siquiera alcanza la experiencia de uno.
Bienvenidos al ashram Nithyananda. Hola. Nithyananda, Nithyananda.
bendiciones para todos ustedes y sus familias que viven y irradian la iluminación, que vivan y irradian la dicha eterna Nityananda. Gracias.
To eat. When you are satisfied with eating, then love, heart. So eating is Manipuraga. When you are satisfied, then love, heart. If you are love also satisfied, if you see 3-4 partners in the life, it will be satisfied, I tell you. Now I am not telling go and see 3-4 partners. If you just see the Western society, once in 3 months they change car, house and spouse. It's a fashion, no problem. So when you change the spouse 3-4 times, naturally you suddenly realize you have the fulfillment in that also. First, fulfillment in the eating, then fulfillment in the love, then naturally your system starts working towards prayer, fulfillment in enlightenment, spiritual fulfillment. India is still not out of that basic poverty. That's why the many problems related to social things are less. This changing spouse, these, that, car, house are less. But even all those things started even in India, in cities. In cities it has started. Changing house, changing car, changing spouse, once in 3 months. Even in cities it is becoming fashion. See, when your problem of eating is solved, then comes the problem of love. If that is also solved, then comes the problem of praying. Then the spiritual yearning, spiritual seeking happens in your system. So, human beings are basically wired for these 3: eating, loving and praying. That is why how much the unconscious media tries to eliminate the necessity of us, we cannot be eliminated. Understand? Just like agriculture profession, people who produce food cannot be eliminated from society because it is a basic need. Same way, all the people who related to this love business, means people who produce fantasies related to love, fantasies related to relationship, like a movie producers or TV serial producers, people who work in this line, that industry, huge industry. 43% of the visitors come to internet for pornography. Can you imagine? Internet has thousands of users. Buying, selling, business and spiritual discourses, thousands. Education, everything. But 43% of the people come to internet just for pornography. Then understand the huge industry. So how the food industry cannot be eliminated from the society? How this love industry or love-based industry, rose, cards, or these gifts, love-based industry, even gold, all love-based industries only. Cinema, gold, diamond, all these are love-based industries. Say love-based industries also can't be eliminated. Same way, the prayer-based industries, enlightenment, science. Of course, I can't use the word industry, it's a wrong word. The prayer-based institutions, the prayer-based organizations, prayer-based lifestyle, and the people who promote that lifestyle cannot be eliminated from society. I wanted to tell these unconscious medias who are trying to eliminate enlightened beings from society, constantly trying to abuse and trying to reduce their influence over society or try to eliminate them from society. I tell them, understand, you cannot eliminate me. I am just like another one field, like food industry. I am a basic need for human beings. As long as human beings have stomach, food industry cannot be eliminated. As long as human beings have feeling, love industry cannot be eliminated. As long as human beings are alive, my industry cannot be eliminated. The enlightenment industry cannot be eliminated because human beings are basically hardwired to experience God. As long as a last human being is alive on the planet Earth, seeking will be there and gurus will be there and science of enlightenment will be there. So, you may be from any society. If you are a human being, first, the problems of basic need. Once that is attended, problems of love, relationship. Once that is also attended, now, no other way. You have to start praying, you have to start meditating, you have to become enlightened. You have grown to the next step. If you are matured, means if you became 7, you have to go to school. It's a natural course. If you became 25, you have to get married. Natural course. If you became 35, you have to work towards